All right, big fella.
Well, like I said in the intro there, I got it bad. It didn't do me no good. It just fueled it more. My topic just simply states vamos a pescar, which means let's go fishing. Like I got it, man. We got down there and dug everything out and we're down at the lake messing around, and I thought it's got to be thick enough because we sit down in the valley and everything like that with shade and everything. And I just got the old spud bar out and started chopping holes. And when I seen how thick it was, I knew it'd be game on. And a younger feller that I work with had said he had never been before, and I thought, well, let's give it a whirl. So we tried and got some bait and went down there, and we no more got the first hole chopped, got the first line dropped to the ice, and it was on. We started hammering bluegill, crappie. I think we even caught one bass. I'm not sure. I think, yeah.
What were we using for bait?
Bee moths and wax worms.
Really?
They're like little white maggot-looking deals.
Yeah.
You know what a bee moth looks like. But, yeah, we found those at Huck's General Store right there in Huntingburg, Indiana. And then so we did that Friday evening after work, and then went to the ball game, watched the Raiders put a beat down on the Heritage Hills Patriots. Seen you up there.
Yeah, we that was our plan was, hey, we're going to go to the game, and had food there for the kids. We were eating, we were rolling, and literally like getting ready to put the kids in the car when she had to go put Uncle Ed down. But
damn it.
I still took the kids because they were excited. I don't want any judgment on this, but Zoe, it was just me and the boys, and there was no way I was going to be able to keep them contained to watch.
Gave him your phone.
Yeah.
I noticed. And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I mean, they
don't give a shit about high school basketball at this point.
They don't.
No, you're just trying to familiarize them with crowds and things to do and everything like that.
Yeah, they don't have the attention span.
Exactly. So then we get to the game, and we come home, go to bed, wake up the next day, go to Heritage Hills, watch Evelyn play. They did pretty well, and then come back home, and I thought, let's try it again. So we went to this other lake, and like I said, it was good ice, but it just gave me the heebie-jeebies.
Now,
didn't like it.
Is there a general rule of thumb?
4
inches is the minimum?
Yeah. If they say in order for it to be safe, it's supposed to be 4. Now, there are skinny shitheads that I know that have balls that won't fit in a 5-gallon bucket, and they'll go out on what? Or brain, yeah. Smoke Dragon's back here tending to this CGI fireplace, but he said they don't have brains either. But they say that they'll go out on 3.5, depending on if it's good and not rotten. Which I'm out, no way. So
yeah,
they start going after it. We walk out there. Max catches one fish. I'm sitting in a lawn chair, splashing in water that's coming up the hole. As people are walking towards me, I can watch the water level rise in my hole. I told Max, I'm out. Like, let's go. He's like, why are you so anxious? And I'm like, buddy,
it is.
You'll get there. You'll understand one of these days.
I mean, when you, there is a real fear.
Oh, God.
Because when you fall under the water, the likelihood you're going to find your way back up out of the hole that you fell in
is tough.
Is slim to none.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, you'll see stories.
Yeah.
Guys, up north, late ice fishing or early ice fishing that go through.
Mm-hmm.
Very rarely is there a survival to that.
Because obviously the fish migrate to the deepest parts of the lake.
Yeah.
Because the water, they can get to the bottom and they're below the thermocline. So the top is froze.
Yeah.
But the bottom is still 50-some degrees down there.
And then that's what makes them active because they don't have as much food to eat.
Exactly.
Because of the limited area.
So now ice fishing's over. It's going to be 60 on Sunday, like Dave said. Yeah. And the ice is gone and everything like that. Now it's starting to think about regular fishing. And I know baseball is going to tie up some time and softball and stuff like that, but and golf and all the other bullshit that I have to do. But I really am going to try to make it a thing for me, for my mental health. Obviously, knock out the projects that need to be done so I don't get divorced. But I'm going to try to put a little bit more stock in trying to go fishing more because we cook some.
Yeah, delicious.
Oh, my God.
When they come out of that cold water like that.
Brother Nobby took them home. I think they cleaned fish Friday. We went to the ball game. I had quit fishing about 5:30, 6:15, and went up, took a shower to head to the game. And he said, I called him. I was giving him shit about it. I said, hey, what's your going rate? And he said $100 an hour. I said, suck my fat white ass. I ain't paying you $100 to clean my fish. Called him later, and I was like, man, did you bring that bucket of fish up to the house, or did you leave it down on the ice? Because I said, you think the coons would go out there and try to rake one of them fish out of the bucket?
Yeah,
and he said, don't worry about it. They're already here. And I thought, well, you son of a buck. So he ended up cleaning them, and I got 4 quart-size Ziplocs full of damn nice fillets. And I fried 2 bags the other night. I put 1 bag back in the general fund for the big fish fry for those fellas. And then I still got 1 bag left. But I take Andy's red and Andy's yellow and mix them together. Because
what color does that make, Dave?
Red and yellow?
Like a brown.
It's orange.
Orange.
Yeah.
Orange is the answer, Dave.
Orange. But they, so if you go straight red, it could be a little, some people say it's too spicy. I mean, I love it, but the yellow is just kind of bland. It's kind of just a cornmeal original, you know?
Yep.
So I kind of mixed them together, and that's my deal there. Dug out one of my grandma's, probably 1989, 1990, original Fry Daddy. Still works like a charm.
So Janelle's family, close family, has a Christmas dinner tradition of eating fried fish.
Oh,
What
yeah.
gets used.
That's cool.
That's what gets used to fry it up. But we all know my inability as a hunter, and that's okay. I can wear it. Had that conversation the other night at the Legion, but I do enjoy fishing.
Yeah.
And I got a buddy I went to law school with. He goes on a trout fishing trip every year, and I'm like, man, I'd love to get into that. Trout fishing. We did it when we went to Yellowstone the first time. No clue what we were doing, but we bought license and some gear.
Yeah.
And we fished the Yellowstone River.
Wow.
Not a chance of catching anything. But you're standing down there in that valley and you're looking at what God created all around you.
Very beautiful.
Kind of keeping your eye out for animals because that's kind of their place there too. And just throwing. And the water was nice and cold. It was peaceful.
There's a place that you can catch trout within an hour and a half-ish from here that are wild trout. No, maybe they're not wild. They're released. But like they're in the wild. They're not like you know what I'm trying to get at.
Costco?
No. But you got to have a 4-wheel drive to get there, and I don't want to like put it on blast where it's at because, you know, that could be, it's frowned upon in the community, but finding that spot would be neat to try. I've been told by another guy, he said that they go down there and catch rainbows and browns and stuff like that. You need to take a fly rod or a little ultralight or something like that. But anyway, I got a lot of work to do on my boat. I haven't had my boat in the water. I think I did last summer just a couple times just to make sure it still floats, but I want to find somebody that can do some aluminum welding and get some new seat pedestals put up in the front to where I can get some nice like big man seats. And then I'd love to ditch I got a foot controlled trolling motor that I'd love to ditch and get like a bow mount tiller handled trolling motor to where I can like sit on my ass,
kind of pedal it with with your feet.
No. Tiller handles with your hand.
Oh, okay.
So you just kind of steer it.
Well, like the big guys that fish on Sunday.
They're foot controlled, obviously, big time.
Yeah.
But I don't like to stand and do that because I'm
Why
not.
don't you sit?
Well, because in order for honest to God, the control wire, like from where the trolling motor is mounted to where my seat is going to be, it's not long enough.
Oh, now see, I gave Wyatt the trolling motor I obtained for the pontoon boat, and it's got a wireless foot control.
Oh, those are sweet.
And it's got a little key fob remote control.
What? On that little pond skipper he's got out here? Hell yeah. How many foot-pound thrust is it?
I don't know, bought off a guy that had on a 24-foot pontoon boat.
Holy shit, he's going to be able to ski behind that bastard. Hell yeah, that's cool shit.
I've always wanted, and guys say you can do it around here, but in the early spring when they're getting ready to get on the nest or they're feeding frenzy, that you can fly fish around here for like panfish, like
we used to do it all the time.
Yeah.
My grandpa Bill he had several fly rods.
Yeah.
And we would always go to the Huntingburg Conservation Club, and before they rebuilt that, and there was like some pea gravel beds that they put it there for the bluegill, but yeah, if you could find a little pond that's got some like a rock bar with pea gravel or sand, like a beach sand, shit like that, you can hammer them, absolutely slam them like that.
Yeah, I've got one of those because I think my mom threatened to throw them away, and so I hid them, and I've got one at my house. May have one still hidden on 500 West.
Dad's got my dad has I think it's called white. It's either White River Fly Shop or White Water Fly Shop, whatever's within Bass Pro.
Yeah.
He's got like a 7-foot dogwood rod, 2-piece. It's pretty slick. Pretty. It's very pretty.
Yeah, this is not it.
Brother Craig, he said he's got one that like an Orvis,
Orvis is big in
that's the real
world.
real deal shit. But yeah, Brother Craig said he's got
one.
one.
I've always wanted to do like you go down to Florida, any coastal area, and you get some of that inlet fishing.
Oh yeah, like
where they're on
Spanish
those flat
Spanish
boats
fly, like Jose Wakajeve, or what the hell was his name? He was always on the fishing shows on Sunday mornings. The show called Spanish Fly. You know.
Hey, is this?
Oh, buck up, Nancy.
Is this
Dave's all ginger?
Is this too close for sports for you to have some input, or I'm worried
you like to fish, Dave?
I mean, we fished a lot growing up, but not like what you guys like. Not like what Wyatt what he does. Is
I know that's me.
Like it was always like a social thing. Like me and my buddies would go just find a river,
take a case of cold ones, and
I'd never drank in high school. We just go.
Oh
to the
yeah,
park
we've had
and
that conversation.
Weirdo.
Yeah.
Fish all night.
You've made up for it now, though.
Oh yeah.
My dad, when my dad was a kid, he talks about fishing a lot. As a kid, they'd go out Huntingburg Lake.
Conservation Club.
They'd go and fish all the time. He loves to fish, and we haven't done it as much, and we got to be more intentional about it. And
I can remember riding on the tailgate of my parents' truck, my dad's pickup, riding on the tailgate with a bucket full of bluegill, splashing fish water all over my back, riding from the back lake at Holland to my house on 5th Street. Like, I can remember when we were going to go, Yeah. And my mom would fish, and I would fish, and my dad would spend the time my rod so I could fish more.
I used to be terrible.
Oh, man, I still am.
Yeah.
Matt Noblet will tell you to this day.
I believe it.
There is never a dull moment when you're fishing with Zach Maester. I lost 2 rods through the ice last weekend. Just from setting rods out and right down the hole they go.
I started going to the Blue River with Mr. Cam and
now that would be fun.
And it was I don't know. I'm too top heavy for one of them.
Kayaks,
So I lost 3 or 4 or 5 rods, like flipping
17, 14 rods. Yeah.
Ray-Bans. But then when I go with the wife and kids, they want to fish. I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a good time. So I bought new fishing poles, and then everybody get theirs all jacked up. So they take mine, and then they get stepped on, broke, split in half. So I'm out of fishing poles again. Meanwhile, Wyatt can probably feed a small country in there with
the amount of money that he spent on fishing rods.
Well, he didn't spend it. But.
Well, yeah, I know what you
Santa
mean.
Claus.
I have what was known as a slight addiction to it. Like I've got a small tackle shop in my garage. You've seen all that shit that hangs on the wall back there.
We took. I'll tell you that we, as a parent, you remember some of those first, but we took Zoe and Ryan out to the farm for their first fishing experience, and they caught some. And they'd laugh and giggle and have fun, and that's why we need to do more of it.
I was with Justine when she caught her first at Lake Helmrich.
Yeah?
Yeah, bluegill.
There you go.
Good times. I miss fishing. I'm ready for it. So I'm
They go-
Operation Bucket Fill. I'm ready to rip.
You know, a lot of people, they go like Canada to fish. Like
Yeah.
it'd be fun. But I think a good old ice fishing trip up there, get up to Minnesota or Wisconsin.
That would be cool.
I went ice fishing up in Michigan.
Shanties.
Where we sat like in an actual shack. We were in law school. My buddy up there, Hastings, Michigan. His parents lived on a lake. You could just see little houses, not houses, but
Shanties
out on the water. And this was my first time doing it. And of course, my dad had always told me stories like, guys around here tie ropes on their ass, so if they did fall in,
They're driving
and
trucks.
so like I'm walking out there like getting ready to go through the ice, and you watch like a truck drive by, and they're like, if that truck isn't going in, like you're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
So
It's wild to see. Like ever since I've went ice fishing and like talked about it, like Facebook knows that I went.
yeah,
So now all my Facebook reels are nothing but ice fishing related. And some of them up in northern Michigan and Minnesota and Wisconsin and shit, they've got these full ass, they look like mobile home, like campers.
yeah.
And when they get them out there, they just hit hydraulic switches and it just lowers the frame of the camper to the ice, brings the wheels up off the ice.
It's
and then
big
they
business.
there's TVs, kitchens, wood stoves, the whole shooting match. It's
Yeah.
wild.
It's we had a blast, and what's great is the shanty wasn't big for all three of us, big enough for all three of us to bring a cooler, but you don't have to bring a cooler. So we just set our beer, and we had one guy. We all had a hole we were fishing in. We maybe caught a couple, but it was more about drinking the case of beer that was sitting out there.
Yeah, we hammered down there. We didn't slack up on that. But anyway, that's
There we
what I
go.
was thinking about.